You're probably asking yourself, why am I watching this?
Mix this with tequila, and I got on my new socks.
My favorite book of all time is The Terror by Dan Simmons. Now, I didn't read this book, but I did listen to it on Audible. It's a book of historical fiction about a journey to the Arctic. They're trying to find the Northwest Passage, and it ends in disaster. I love that book. So this is going to be a review / just comparison the book to the TV show. They didn't talk about the ice enough. In the book, they were constantly like, the ice, the seracs, the pack ice, the seracs, the ice, the pack ice. Ah, so much ice. I don't think they established or emphasized how cold it was and how dangerous that cold was. Especially, there was a real fear of touching bare hands on metal that would fuck you up in the Arctic. If you grabbed something metal, your hand would stick, you would rip skin off. It was cold as fuck. So that brings me to the other point, which kind of annoyed me, and I don't know why they didn't do it, but there were no breaths. There were no fucking breaths. You know how it's cold outside and you're like, I can see my breath, it's so cold. If we're in the Arctic, none of the characters had breaths. It annoyed me a little bit, but I had to stick through it. Why don't they have breaths? The ship seemed small, but the sets were dope. They looked great. And the long shots, the aerial shots of the boats in the ice really helped me believe that they were definitely isolated. Like they were in their own personal purgatory, stuck on the ice, were left, right, back and forth. Everywhere you looked, there was nothing but frozen wasteland. And no animals, but possibly a monster out there to kill you. Captain Crozier needed to drink more, I think. I don't think he drank enough. He was the captain. Didn't show his supply. In the book, he was talking about he had his own supply of whiskey that he brought with him. He had his own personal stash. And then there was he talked about the whiskey and then going through it and how, some good days he'd only drink a half a bottle, and bad days he'd drink a whole bottle. I mean, part of my alcoholic self really is just like I feel what he's going through. He's like looking at the bottle like, oh God, I'm going to run out soon. I'm going to have to kill myself. That was his mindset. And I understood it from the book point of view, the book part. It didn't establish that enough in the TV show. But like the men still had their stash of grog. He's like, a lesser captain would believe that that's his stash too, but not him. Because he doesn't like that, I think they actually had a bunch of rum they were drinking. And he's like, I don't really like the rum. I'm not going to drink it. Which I felt just like, yeah, you're a stand-up guy, Captain Crozier. Okay, there was a scene in the book that wasn't in the TV show. There was supposed to be a big dumb guy with Hickey named Magnus Manson. And there was a scene in the book where Magnus Manson, the big dumb guy, was scared and he didn't want to go below to carry like coal or something to the furnace. He was like super scared and suspicious, and Captain Crozier like got him to go back to work. He did it in kind of a mean way, but also it was kind of a way to like what kind of captain he was. And the superstitious part, there was a lot more talk about superstition in the book than there was in the TV show. Oh, a big difference. Captain Crozier never spoke Eskimo, or whatever language they speak. Inuit? Is that the right word? In the TV show, he's like, yeah, of course I speak Eskimo. No. What else did I like about the book they didn't have in the TV show? There was no talk about the cook and what he went through every day, which was very complicated, to feed the crews. And the furnace. The furnace was really important too. To heat, it heated up the water and then it ran through the whole ship to keep the ship warm. In the book, they kept going over like, we're running out of coal. We're running out of shit. We're fucking running out. I remember there was a monkey. I do not remember what happened to the monkey in the book. What did they do in the TV show? I think they fed it some of that putrid can stuff, and the monkey dies. Yeah, that sucks. There was also a part in the book where they went over who supplied the cans. It was like, oh my God, of course this is what happened. See, what the government does is they let people bid on doing something for them. Like, so the companies, so say there's like 3 companies that are like, we want this deal to can the soup for you, which is going to be a lot of money, but each company comes in that can do it, and the government just goes with the lowest bidder. Like, we can do it for the least, you're hired. And guess what? They fucked it up. They fucked it up. And half the cans of their rations went putrid. And that's not good. If you don't have fresh food and you're trapped in the Arctic, everyone gets scurvy. Ah, scurvy got me. That's what their greatest fear was. Scurvy. Ah, dang old scurvy. Arrgh. I don't think they talk about that enough in the TV show either. Or showed enough scurvy. Ooh, the carnival. At the carnival, in the book, they ate bear. They finally found some fresh meat. And no one tried to burn it down. What happened in the TV show? The guy lit himself on fire because he was going mad and then lit everything on fire, trapping people. In the TV show, there's a scene where they're trying to get out of the burning tent. And was it Hickey that cuts it open and cuts the guy at the same time? That doesn't happen in the book. What happened at the carnival was that the monster came. The creature came and started just wiping people out. And in the chaos, the tent accidentally gets set on fire. And a bunch of the Marines just shoot people to death. Like friendly fire. Oops. And it was after that. In the TV show, they did it too early, whipping Hickey. It wasn't until after the carnival that Captain Crozier had Hickey and Magnus whipped, because they were prancing around. Magnus was carrying Hickey on his shoulders, and they had like the bear's hides draped over them, like pretending to be the creature or whatever. And Captain Crozier did not like that, and that's when they were whipped. They were whipped after that, and Magnus Manson barely flinched when he got whipped because he's a big dumb idiot, and really strong too. After they abandoned the ships, Lady Silence followed like close behind. Like they didn't take her with them in the book. And also in the book they find a big hole in the ice. This big giant hole where obviously the creature made the hole. And they're like, ah shit, we need to keep moving. How does this get here? Like, I don't know, bro. Also, there was a part in Lady Silence had her own quarters in the ship that they made her. And was it Irving went to investigate and found there was a fucking hole in the side of the ship where the creature made it so Lady Silence can get out whenever she wanted. There was something like that happened. Okay, after they abandoned the ships, they begin to separate again after Hickey's final mutiny and decide to go, oh yeah, Hickey wants to go back to the ship, the Terror. And then Captain Crozier gets shot like 3 times. And then they take Dr. Goodsir. What did they do in the TV show? They took both of them? Captain Crozier and Goodsir? But no, in the book they like lure him away. Because they want... Hickey wants Goodsir for his medical practice. Oh yeah, the same reason they wanted him in the TV show. Because he could cut up a man so they could eat him. But they shoot Captain Crozier in the book and leave him for dead. And but he never cuts up a body for him in the book. He just holds out. I even think, I want to say, that they cut off one of his balls to try to really coax him, but he never does it. Overall, the TV show, it had a good feel. I liked it. I liked the book better. Oh, Frank, are you one of those guys? The book was better. But I like the book better. The thing that really sold it, too, was just the narrator. The guy that read the book did such a fucking excellent job. The unabridged book, which you gotta listen to the unabridged, was 28 hours long. That's pretty long. So the TV series was only like 8 hours long. So yeah, it's hard to fit all of that detail. But overall, they did a pretty good job. I don't hate it. I like it. There was no breaths, which is still annoying. What else was it? Because I was familiar with the book a lot because it's my favorite, and I listened to it like 3 times. A lot of the scenes in the TV shows, they seem rushed to me. It was like boom, 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 next, boom, 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 next. Whoa, it's at some point like, wow, do they really move this quick? What the fuck's happening? I mean, you really gotta move it along, I guess. But because maybe because I was looking for certain things, I'm like, God damn, that's fast. The other thing I realized is like the TV show is kind of depressing and is making me question whether it's a good story or not. At first, but then I realized that no, I love tales of suffering and survival, right? Everyone likes a good suffering. That's a waste of good suffering, right? Jesus suffered. Everyone loves that fucking guy. Just like reminds me of another book when I was in school. Maybe I didn't understand why I liked it so much, but now I think I'm trying to understand it. 1st through 4th, I don't remember, but I kept checking out this book from the library, and it was about the Civil War, and it had pictures, and it just explained all like the suffering that like almost more men died from trekking through the snow and running out of food and getting frostbite. And I love this book, and I kept checking it out because I just like, what is this? Survival and suffering stories are my favorite, because I always project myself like, what would I do in that situation? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, fuck, can I survive? Can I handle that? I think maybe I'd probably die, but in the best possible way. What are the other notes I really needed to emphasize? TV show compared to the book. Captain Crozier never faced the creature, the monster, the Terror. In the book, they were dubbing the thing the Terror. And Captain Crozier was like, well, my ship's called that. Don't call it that. What are you doing? What do they call it in the TV show? The Tuunbaq? Tuunbaq? We don't find out what it is until the very end of the book. When Captain Crozier survives, Lady Silence comes to his rescue, and they become lovers, and they become they're like the keepers of the creature. They like work with it. Captain Crozier gives up his tongue. That's why Lady Silence didn't have a tongue. The creature brings Lady Silence food and stuff, and Lady Silence gets naked and then does this throat singing thing with the monster. She lifts straight up with her mouth open, and then the creature goes straight down and like blows into her throat and plays her like some sort of instrument. And Captain Crozier goes through the same thing. He gives up his tongue, and they live happily ever after in the fucking Arctic. It was a really satisfying ending too, right? Especially when Hickey gets killed. You're like, fuck yeah, fuck that guy. Also, Captain Crozier doesn't lose his hand in the book. And yeah, he doesn't like square off with the creature either. Oh, in the TV show, it makes it think like Lady Silence might have a thing with Dr. Goodsir, but that doesn't happen in the book either. She has a thing with John Irving. He was the one watching her. He was the one tasked with watching her and trying to figure out what the fuck she was doing. Because Crozier didn't speak Eskimo, John Irving, he's the guy that Hickey kills and cuts off his penis. Oh, and then after Irving's death, Captain Crozier, there was a scene where, like, maybe it really helps establish, like, Hickey's like, I fucking hate this captain. Crozier's suspicious, and he has Hickey strip in front of him, because it's like he's trying to find wounds to see if there's a struggle or whatever, and he just kind of makes him stand there naked, and he's like, it's fucking cold, I'm gonna die. And he's like, yeah, whatever. So, Goodsir does poison himself to death, just in case any of the people were gonna eat him. Oh, there was another scene that I really liked in the book. It helps explain things, maybe. Maybe you're like, I don't need this explanation. But Dr. Goodsir was talking to, I believe he was talking to Sir John Franklin, the other captain, in the book, about the boats that they had. So they had like a couple different kind of boats that they were hauling. The ones that they were sledging across the ice. Oh, sledging. Ice, the seracs, the pack ice. Ah. The way they talk in the book is so much better than in the TV show. But I like the TV show. The book's better. Overall, I was pretty happy and pleased, except for the whole breaths thing. That was dumb. And I would encourage you to listen to it on audio. It's long as fuck, but it's great. And it's my favorite. That's why I was compelled to like, I'm going to talk about it. Yeah. Alright, cool. I want to go on an expedition. I love books on tape. Wait, I think I got this wrong. Was there a hole? Fuck, it's been a while since I listened to the book.